Looking forward to a great game here tonight, guys, at Northcutt Stadium. Now, again, I know a lot of you are thinking, hey, wait a minute. Marietta Field, 1-4. Come on. They're not going to be able to do anything. Really? Hey, listen, I've called football, high school football, a long time. I have seen crazy things. These teams, nobody's giving them a chance. Everybody in the world is saying Beaufort's great, and they are. Don't get me wrong, 3-time defending state champions, undefeated this year, and they have really breezed to that 4-0 record. But again, it ain't over till it's over, so we're going to see how this baby plays out tonight. ITG next game of the week. Do want to remind you, next week we're going to be traveling down to South Georgia for what should be a great game. Houston County, Lee County. Now, speaking of Houston County, you got Houston County and Warner Robins taking on each other tonight. That's going to be one to watch. As here come the Marietta Blue Devils and the Buford Wolves, both making their entrance onto the field at the same time. Anthony Epps says, this is a main event game to me. Anthony, we feel the same way, exactly why we picked this one as our game of the week this week. We'll be covering this Beaufort team later in the year as they'll host Decula. That'll be at Beaufort. We look forward to bringing you that one. Again, next week, going to be bringing you Lee County, Houston County. So we got some good ones for you guys. We've already brought you some good games this year, and we hope this one is going to be a good one. We'll also be bringing you Colquitt County, Richmond Hill, last regular season game of the year. You don't think that thing may have some ramifications before it's all said and done in 1-7A? Von West asked us, will you guys be covering basketball? I can tell you, Von, that we have certainly talked about that, and just be on standby. Keep watching, and we'll provide you an update. That is something that we are interested in doing. We'd like to do it. So we'll see. Andrew Miller comes in and says, go Devils. Mark Benson Sr. says, let's go Beaufort. I'm dialed in. Mark, glad you are dialed in tonight. So if you've never checked out the game here, or even if you have, please tell us where you're checking in from. Maybe who you're rooting for, even if it's not a team in this particular game. We'd love to know who you are a fan of. Lucy Bowers-Boykin says, I'm from Millen, Jenkins County, Georgia. I don't have a score for Jenkins County Claxton. Well, send it to us. Hey, high school football, we don't care who it is. Want to make sure that we get everybody in. We are set to go as we are high atop the home press box here at Northcutt Stadium. Our first visit this year, we were here twice last year, as there's the opening kick. And it's going to go in and out of the end zone for a touchback. And we're going to see Marietta go on offense first here tonight. 1st and 10, they'll have it from their own 20-yard line. Offense going to be led by junior Chase McCravey. He is a transfer. He comes over from Hillgrove, from the Hawks. Of course, replacing the almost irreplaceable Tyler Hughes, who was a great quarterback here at Marietta. They do have to replace some big-time weapons this year, guys, but they've got some good ones, and we're going to see them go on offense first here tonight. Going to see the Beaufort defense, of course, on the field first tonight. On the flip side, Beaufort in their all-road white, trimmed in green with the green helmets. Marietta, of course, in the home blue. McCravey going to send a man in motion. He'll take the snap. Quick toss out here near side. Got a man complete, but actually going to lose yardage, as that's great pursuit by that Beaufort defense. But that was number 43 for Beaufort coming in right away. That's Jaden Perlow. They lose 2-3 yards on the play. They'll mark him back at the 17, so it's a loss of 3. So 2nd down, 13 for Marietta. We're just underway. Long back off the right hip of McCravey, who calls for it. He'll take it and going to hand it to the first back through. That's number 21, battling for some tough yardage. He won't have much, if anything, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. with Chase Arnold getting the carry. We'll call his name probably a lot tonight. So they're going to give him no gain on the play. It's going to bring up third down. Still 13 needed for the first, so third down and long. Will we see Marietta try to throw this thing here on third down? Well, Beaufort's got some good ones back there. K.J. Bolden, look out for him. Number 1. All right, here we go. Empty backfield for McCravey. Takes the snap. Short drop, looks, throws. Going to be complete, but only to the 20-yard line. Going to be a short gain. Actually just getting it back to the line of scrimmage. So Marietta will go 3 plays and net pretty much no yards. So we're going to see now the powerful Buford offense come on the field. So McCravey's also going to serve as the punter. Buford going to send Allen back deep. Here's the punt. Line drive kick. It's a good one. Going to bring him back to the 40, 45, 50. Looking for running room, 45, 40. And they'll knock him out of bounds. There's a late flag coming in. Let's catch that. Jordan Allen knocked down after a pretty good game. We got now another flag's going to be thrown. So let's see what we get here on the call. Let's wait for the white hat to sort it out here. It's going to be a hold blocking the back on Beaufort. So that's going to negate what was a pretty good gain on the return by Allen for Beaufort. So that's going to put them back on their own side of the 50. So we're going to see Beaufort now on offense as they'll mark it. Still trying to decide where they're going to mark it. As we're going to see the Beaufort offense now come onto the field. Dylan Whitkey, quarterback. And, of course, I don't have to tell you, in the backfield, we're going to call his name a lot tonight, is going to be Justice Haynes. He is a good one. All right, so here we go. Going to hand it to Haynes, who's going to just carry a tackler up to midfield. So they'll get it right up to midfield. Going to be a gain of about 6-7 yards. Justice Haynes, number 22. So they'll give him 5 where his knee went down. They'll say he came down just shy of the 50 at the 49. We're just underway. ITG next game of the week. Glad you're with us tonight. Phil Jones with you on the play-by-play. Whitkey, the quarterback. It's like an offset eye for Beaufort. Now a man going to line up over there on the tight end, far side. Now another man going to go over there and line up in the slot. Going to hand it to Haynes, running room, right side. Going to take it across the 45 to about the 44 is where they'll stop his progress. That's going to be enough for the first down. Kelvin Shaw coming in making the tackle for Marietta. Bashawn Pride says, I'm rooting for Marietta. Valerie Belcher watching tonight. Valerie, thanks so much for all your help. She knows what I'm talking about. Here we go. Got the Buford Wolves now with a new set of downs in Marietta territory at the Blue Devils 44, just underway. Going to hand it to Haynes, and no, sir, they're going to stuff him behind the line. Here comes a host of blue shirts. Leading the way that time for Marietta was big number 59. That's Broderick Tommy. So Haynes going to lose 5 yards. Boy, you won't hear us say that much. I can promise you that. Haynes losing anything, much less 5 yards. Coach Maurice Freeman is watching, and Maurice Freeman says, Phil, I still need a game. Brooks County still looking for a game. Coach, we're trying to help you. I promise you. Hadn't forgot about you. All right, here's Dylan Whitkey. Play action. Going to roll out to the right. He's got some room to run if he wants to. He won't, though. It's intercepted by Marietta. I'm not sure where Wiki was looking. He threw it, and one of the Marietta linebackers, I think, jumped up, got his big paws up there. I think that was number 14. I'll hang on. Was that Daniel Gray on the interception? Wow, what a play. So there's a break for Marietta. So we've seen Whitkey now with an interception. And that's going to thwart any potential drive on their opening possession for the Wolves. So Marietta back now. Their second possession of the night. They've got it at their own 40. Play action. McCravey wants to air it out. He does. Got a man wide open. They had a man wide open. And he's going to make the catch down around the Beaufort 30. That was Christian Mathis. We'll call his name a lot tonight on the catch. He was wide open that time. So Mathis with a big catch, a big first down, and right now Marietta's got a little bit of momentum. They've got it at the Beaufort 34. A new set of downs. We're just underway first quarter. Running room, 30, 25. They'll knock him out at the 23. Russell Bay on the carry. He's a junior running back. Anthony Epps, being a Cartersville Purple Hurricane fan, I'm rooting for the Blue Devils. Marietta on the move after an interception. They've got it now at the Buford 23. Look out, here come the Blue Devils. McCravey, empty backfield now. Quick toss, look out. Boy, that one was knocked down. Dangerous pass. Knocked away that time by number 9, Elijah Williams. He's a senior. And he got his big paw up there and knocked that one down. Phil Jones with you, ITG Next Game of the Week. We are in Marietta, Northcutt Stadium, high atop the home side. Right now, no score, but Marietta, after an interception, they're threatening. Down there at the inside the Beaufort 25 now, 2nd and 10. McCravey takes it, gonna hand off. Running room, 20, 17-yard line, that's about where he'll take it. That was Bate once again, his second carry in a row. So now you're going to be looking at Marietta with a 3rd down. And after that 5-yard gain, they're going to be looking at 3rd and 5. What do we got? All right, here we go. Big play here from Marietta. I don't have to tell you that if you're a Marietta fan. 3rd down and 5. Snap to McCravey. He's going to roll that way. Look out. Heavy rush by Beaufort. Can he get away from it? And no. He's going to have to eat it. A huge play for the Buford Wolves. They had 3rd down, did Marietta, 3rd and 5, and McCravey rolled to his left. It was a heavy rush, though. Boy, this Beaufort defense is fast. And now you're looking at 4th and long, and you got to feel like maybe Marietta. I punt this thing. I try to pin Beaufort down deep here. It's like well, McCravey is the punter too, so you really don't know even with him in the game what they're going to do here. Let's see. So it's 4th and 17 now at the Beaufort 30. They're showing that they're going to go for it. They are. McCravey looks, rolls out of the pocket. He's going to throw it incomplete. So what was a little bit of momentum for Marietta will go for naught, as McCravey takes a huge sack, and that time under tremendous pressure, not really able to get much of anything downfield. A pass on this near sideline goes incomplete. So Buford, for the moment, dodges a bullet, and they'll come back will their offense, and they'll take over. Now at their own 30-yard line in a 0-0 game. 5:42 left to go. In the opening quarter, no score. Dylan Whitkey is the quarterback. Haynes, the lone back. They'll give it to Haynes. Right side off right tackle. There goes Haynes. Boy, he makes it look easy, doesn't he? He'll take it out close to a first down.
Tackle led by number 21, Jace Arnold. Brought down at the 39-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play.
John Foster says, I want to see an upset. Oh, well, now actually Jacob O'Neill says that too, John Foster. I hear you. Let me see those comments, guys. Let's chat tonight, shall we? Let me know your thoughts on the broadcast. George Childs Lamons, big Brooks County fan, says hello to Maurice Freeman, who's checking the game out tonight. Coach, thanks so much for being a part of our live stream here from Marietta. A little quick pitch. Haynes, near side. He'll get 2 hard-earned yards that time, and that's about it.
Tackle led by number 12, Anthony Croft.
Speaking of Maurice Freeman, that's one of the coaches' podcasts that you can hear every week as I talk with the head coach of the Brooks County Trojans about his Trojan football team. You can go online here at ITG Next and check it out. You'll see the graphic there for the Maurice Freeman Brooks County Coaches Podcast. All right, here we go now. Second down. 8 needed for the first. Wiki, little jet sweep. Gonna just pitch it, and where's that Marietta defense now? They're coming up big, trying to strip the ball. That was K.J. Bolden. Man, he is a dangerous cat, let me tell you. Of course, we can say that about a lot of these Buford Wolves. Man, they got playmakers all over the field. Keith Blaylock checking us out tonight. What's up, Keith? All right, big play here for both teams. It's 3rd and long. The marker says 2nd. I think this is 3rd. Snap. Haynes, left side. Well, he may go. 30, 20, and he will. Touchdown. 43-yard touchdown. Actually, that's going to go for 57 yards. It was at their own 43. So, 57-yard touchdown from Haynes puts Beaufort out on top. 6-0 with the point after attempt coming up. Marietta was in a position to make the tackle there. One man got a hand on him, but Haynes just slipped out of that like it was hot butter. And he was off to the end zone. He showed the breakaway speed there. Extra point attempt now is up. And it is good. Mario Ventura puts it through the uprights. And that makes it 7-0. So Beaufort will jump out on top. And boy, Marietta had their chance earlier, didn't they? An interception, early interception by Whitkey gave Marietta a chance, but they were not able to capitalize. Beaufort got the ball back. They did capitalize. 57-yard touchdown run from Justice Haynes. The extra point good. And it is 7-0. Yeah. So Michael Ward says Haynes is an Alabama commit. I believe he is. Guys, let me know where you're checking in from tonight. Let me know what team you're rooting for, whether it's this game or really any game. And if you got any scores out there of games going on, there's some good games across the state tonight. Let us know if you got any scores. We'd love for you to share them. All right, so Beaufort's up 7-0 now. The big question is, can Marietta answer? Here's the kick. It will go in and out of the end zone. So Ventura going to put his second consecutive kickoff out of the end zone, preventing any kind of big return. And so we're going to see the Blue Devils go 1st and 10 from their own 20. I mentioned Maurice Freeman and his coach's podcast. The coach across the way in the green and white, Bryant Apley. You can also hear my conversation every week with the Beaufort head coach on the Buford Bryant Appling Coaches Podcast, brought to you by Northeast Georgia Physicians Group. All right, here is Marietta, third offensive possession of the night. McCravey going to hand it. B trying to get to the corner. He'll get a tough yard. Was able to turn the corner barely, but he ran out of room, and there were 3 green and white shirts there to greet him and knock him out. Going to bring up second down. Well, actually, they'll say he lost 3 yards, though. I thought he had gone across the 20. I'm kind of in a spot here where the railing is blocking my view, so I'm having to peek between the handrails here. So if I misidentify a yard marker, you'll know why. McCravey got time. Now he'll chase out of the pocket. He'll throw. What a catch. Are you kidding me? I can tell you that one was complete up at the 31. What a play. Great day in the morning. Tell you, McCravey, you can see the flashes of brilliance from that young man. He was in all kind of trouble back there, scrambled and made a great throw, and the receiver made a great catch over here. So here's Marietta now, new set of downs. Handoff, left side, not much, may have gotten it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Tackle made by Ryan McInnes. Brought down at the 33-yard line, gain of 1. It's second down.
Daniel James checking in. Thomas County Central up 27-0. Who are they playing? Is that Childs or somebody from Florida? All right, here we go now. Second down. 2nd and 9. They gave him a yard. McCravey going to roll, going to throw here. Near side, incomplete.
Luke Morgan, the intended receiver.
And going to bring up a 3rd down now. Incomplete pass. Two minutes, 4 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. A quarter that has really gone by pretty quick. I tell you, we were at East Coweta last week for the Lowndes East Coweta game of the week, our ITG News game of the week. And boy, that thing lasted forever. Here, first quarter, though, has gone by pretty quickly. We've got a Beaufort timeout.
That's their first timeout of that.
Beaufort takes their first timeout of the night. 2:03 left to go in the opening quarter. Beaufort up 7-0. Can you believe this is the first ever meeting between these two teams? John Foster watching from Lawrenceville. Just rooting for both teams to have fun. Attaboy, John. Donnie Jarvis says, go Packers. Donnie, give me something on that Colquitt Cedar Grove game tonight. Okay, so Thomas County Central playing Godby. I knew they were playing a team from down there somewhere. Thank you, Tim Boatwright, for that. We'll be bringing you all kind of coaches podcasts this football season. I told you about the Maurice Freeman Brooks County Coaches Podcast. I told you about Bryant Appling and the Buford. I think I said Beaufort earlier. Maurice Freeman and the Brooks County Coaches Podcast. Bryant Appling and the Buford Coaches Podcast. We also bring you Coach Josh Niblett, Gainesville. Sean Calhoun, Colquitt County. Zach Grades, Lowndes. And that's just a few of many. I think we do 11, 12 total of the Coaches Podcast every week. ITG next. All right, coming out of the timeout now. 3rd down and 9. Here's Marietta. Passing situation. McCravey going to take it. Looks. Another heavy rush. He's going to look. Going to throw it downfield. Incomplete. Pass was a little too high for the intended receiver over here on the near sideline. And it's going to bring up another 4th down situation. McCravey, almost every pass now, he's throwing on the run. I don't know if that's his style. if that's what he prefers to do. Now, he's made a couple of pretty good throws out of that particular formation on the run, but not that time. So it's going to be another punting situation for the Marietta Blue Devils, who already trail at 7-0. We're under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter, 154. McCravey going to punt it away. He got it off the side of his foot. I don't know if Beaufort got a piece of that or not. I don't know. Either way, it's not going to go very far. It'll go just over midfield. I'm looking at a replay here, and I think Marietta may have gotten a piece of that. Or I'm sorry, I think Beaufort may have gotten a piece of that. Donna Fidel Nelson says, go Beaufort. We got North Cobb 7-0 on Milton halfway through the first quarter. Thank you, Lucy Bowers Boykin, for that. And we've got Ruby Nunn says, go Beaufort, go. So here we go now. Beaufort, they'll take over. Just shy of midfield. They're up 7-0. 1:46 left to go in the opening quarter. ITG next game of the week. Haynes, left side. Now he'll turn it back up towards the center of the field, and he'll take it to the 45. Going to gain about 5 or 6. Had a chance to visit with Dexter Wood, longtime head football coach for the Buford Wolves down below. Well, I tell you guys, for those of you that may be familiar with Marietta, they do it right here pregame. They have a huge lawn behind the home side stands, beautiful green plush lawn, big tents. They got a jump house out there, a bounce house, kids having fun, fans tailgating. It is quite the scene here at Northcutt Stadium. Handoff Haynes. He'll take it close to a first down. Actually, I think that was not Haynes. That was number 5. That was Christian Butler on the carry that time. They're going to mark him short of the first down. So it's 3rd and maybe a yard. 3rd and maybe a yard for the Buford Wolves at the Marietta 42. Handoff right side, first down and more. And now they're giving it second consecutive time to Christian Butler. So that's a first down. They got it with ease, did Butler. So maybe spelling Justice Haynes on the last couple of carries. And that will be a Beaufort first down. Not going to get another play off. That's going to do it for the end of the first quarter. As quarter number 1 has come to an end here at Northcutt Stadium in what is turning into a beautiful, crisp, cool night in North Georgia, with the scenic Kennesaw Mountain in the background, serving as the perfect scenic back for tonight's broadcast. 7-0 your score into quarter number 1. The ITG next game of the week. Guys, want to remind you, you can check out a show that I do every Monday and Tuesday night. It's at 5 o'clock. Right here, ITG Next Georgia's Facebook page. Extra Point with Phil Jones. We go rapid fire. We've got an hour and we go at it, trying to get you as much high school football information, scores, just good old conversation. I call out your comments on the air, just kind of like I'm doing tonight. So be sure to check out Extra Point with yours truly, Phil Jones, and you guys. 5 o'clock Monday and Tuesday right here at ITG Next Georgia. Oh, we got Coffee 7-0 over Richmond Hill at the end of the first. Richmond Hill had a bad punt. Snap recovered for a Coffee touchdown. James Reamer giving us that one. James, thanks for that. 3-0 Cedar Grove up on Colquitt. That's Rich Nixon giving us that. Valentino Hardy says, go Beaufort. Rich Nixon checking us out. Juan Daniels, Parkview 7-3 over Mill Creek. Well, there are so many great stories of teams, guys. You'll be able to read it in our upcoming newsletter. 5 teams who have done terribly. Handoff, look out, running room, 30, inside the 30. That's Haynes again back in there. Jace Arnold on the tackle for Marietta. Richard Morgan, longtime head coach here at the Marietta. The Blue Devils 1-4 coming into this game. Their lone win, 24-17 win over West Forsyth in the second game of the season. Of course, Beaufort is perfect. Number 1 in almost every poll, including the ITG Next 4A through 7A poll. Single back is Hank. Now that's Roberts again, left side. And he'll be brought down immediately after a short game. It's Christian Butler. Number 23 for Marietta, by the way, making the tackle that time. Kelvin Shaw. I think I said Robinson. That was not Robinson. That was Christian Butler. So they're going to go with Justice Haynes and Christian Butler with the running game. All right, so here's another 3rd down and 1, second consecutive 3rd and 1 for Beaufort. Just underway second quarter with Beaufort leading at 7-0. Whitkey going to take. Handoff, Haynes going to bounce it outside. He'll have the first down. He'll take it inside the 20. So that'll be enough for the first down and move the chains. Another Beaufort first down. Juan Daniels giving me that Parkview score. Reminds me, Parkview, well, they look like they are back this year, don't they? The Big Orange Jungle. Got a little bit of a facelift, I understand. Crazy place to play over there in Lilburn. Wiki under center this time. Look out. Christian Butler that time. Boy, he's a good-looking back. Big, strong frame. He's a north-south runner. Kind of reminds me of the old Robert Edwards. Great running back at Washington County. He went on to play at Georgia. Had that terrible accident in some kind of a charity event at the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. He was able to come back, play a few years for the New England Patriots, but cost him what could have been a tremendous NFL career. We've got penalty flags here. Check the call. I think we're going to have motion on Beaufort, and that is the call. But Robert Edwards now back at his alma mater at Washington County, not having quite the year that they had hoped. Jonathan James Gibson, Lee County fan here. Lee County has a bye, so I'm watching this game. Appreciate that, James. We'll be at your place next week, Hoco, at Lee County. How about them Houston County Bears? Haynes right up the middle. Look at him go. Still on his feet, inside the 10-yard line. He's a good-looking back. Waylon Polk watching from St. Louis, Missouri. I love it, Waylon. Cody Butler is in the house. What's up, Cody? Your Ware County Gators off tonight or something? We're in that spot where you got a lot of teams bye weeks either last week or this week as teams get ready to roll into region play. Beaufort, 1st and goal to go. They're inside the 10. They lead it 7-0. Whitkey going to fake the pitch. He'll take it. He'll keep it, and he'll be brought down at the 5. Nice tackle made that time by number 23, Kelvin Shaw. Jonathan James Gibson checking us out. Alina Chesser Lowe says, let's go Beaufort from Monticello, Georgia. All right, we got Butler in there at tailback now. He's going to get the carry off the left side, but he's going to be greeted rudely by host, the Blue Devils. Making the initial tackle, easy for me to say, Jamin West. Big senior defensive tackle for the Blue Devils. All right, so now you're looking at 3rd and goal for Beaufort. Wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe roll Whitkey out here. Let's see if we get that. Maybe let him try to isolate, or maybe some kind of RPO. They're going to spread it out a little bit here now. 3 receivers for Beaufort, 2 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Haynes is the lone back off the right hip of Whitkey, who's in the gun. Takes the snap, looks, throws. Touchdown, Beaufort. They made it look easy. It's complete. Well, what a beautiful throw from Whitkey. He let the route develop there, and he found number 1, KJ Bolden, open. So the 7-yard touchdown from Whitkey to Bolden comes at 7:15 of the second quarter. Has given Beaufort now a 13-0 lead, with Mario Ventura is going to try to make it 14-0. Here's the snap, hold, kick. It's good.
7 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the half. The score, Beaufort 14.
So your score now, 14-0. Beaufort leads it. And I got to tell you, Beaufort has not, or Marietta has not played bad here. They've had some opportunities hanging around, but offense going to have to try to get something going if they're going to stick around in this game. 14-0, still anybody's game, but Beaufort with just precision drives and great blocking, great running. These running backs are finding the holes, and on that time, Whitkey on 3rd down, and I was wrong. There was no kind of rollout. It was a straight drop. Whitkey sat in the pocket, had plenty of time, and boy, he threw a laser to Bolden, running from right to left across the back line of the end zone for the touchdown. Bill Beckham checking in, Dublin Fighting Irish fan here. We're off tonight, pulling for safe play. Bill, you got a good one up there in Roger Holmes, don't you? Jacob O'Neill says, no, Ware's playing Bainbridge tonight. I got you. Here's the kickoff. And this one going to bounce and be caught at the 10, 15, 20, 25. He'll take it up to the 28-yard line. And I say he was Brandon Rosada. Or, it was Jason Arnold. We got 2 21s on the roster. That is a play-by-play man's nightmare. John Foster said, I saw Francoeur playing baseball at Parkview. It was like watching a grown man playing versus a Little League team. I bet. You could tell he was different. Indeed, he was. You remember he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated as the Natural. And the old Sports Illustrated jeans called him. Long pass. We got all kind of bumping going on down there, and there's the flag. You're going to get Beaufort for pass interference. I got to tell you, though, give McCravey credit. That young man has got pretty good touch on the ball. He put that one right on the money. And Christian Mathis, I think he almost came down with it, but nevertheless, it's a pass interference call on Beaufort's corner. You could see the bumping going on right down in the field on the near sideline in front of us. Way, way down in front of us, I should say, as we are high atop Northcutt Stadium. That's going to give Marietta a new set of downs. 1st and 10 now at their own 41. 14-0. Blue Devils trail it. Boy, they desperately need a touchdown to get back in this thing. McCravey going to hand off. Nowhere to go.
Number 7, Tyson White.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green and white shirts in on that one. Just take a pick.
Stopped at the 38-yard line.
Still North Cobb 7-0, I guess, on Milton.
Second down and 14.
Here we're 14-0 Beaufort as we are midway through quarter number 2. 6 minutes even to go in the second quarter with the Wolves leading at 14-0. Marietta now, one receiver split out way far to the far side, two here to the near side. McCravey going to take the snap. He'll hand off to Bay. Initial hit comes at the 42, and that's where they'll mark him down. And it's going to bring up third down.
Tackle led by number 5, Christian Butler. Brought down at the 42-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. It's third down and 10.
All right, so here we go now. It's going to be a third down and 10 for Marietta. Clock runs, 5:11. This has been a speedy first half, I'll tell you that. We're approaching 5 minutes to go in the half. So now we got an interesting formation. You got one lone receiver far right, trips in the slot. You don't see that often. Look out. Does not matter. It is a sack. McCravey never saw him coming.
Number 30, Cameron Golden.
Wow. Despite the 5 receivers, Beaufort bringing the heat off the corner that time.
Is the 33-yard line.
And it's a sack. I believe that was, check the number on that. I think that's Aiden Wilson who made the sack on McCravey. So yet another promising Marietta drive with the help of a Beaufort pass interference will go for naught. And McCravey now from his quarterback position goes back to his punting position and he'll kick it away. Line drive punt will hit at the 35 and he'll take it back 30, 40, 45.
Number 7, Tyshawn White.
And they'll bring White down there. That's Tyshawn White, number 7, the tackle by Marietta's. Number 8, Isaiah Sanders. So what has been quite a brisk second quarter with 3:55 left. Now, if you're a Marietta fan, listen, 14-0, yeah, I can take that. I can handle that. But you've got to keep Beaufort right where they are. You can't let them go into the half up 21-0. That's for sure. So let's see if the Marietta defense can bow their backs here. And of course, Beaufort wants to tack on another one. Let's see what happens. Wiki going under center this time. Going to give it to Haynes, left side. They'll bring him down for no gain.
Marion West led the tackle for the Blue Devils.
Finally getting some football-type weather, guys. And it is about time. Clears a bell here in Marietta with cool temperatures. Gotta love it. 3:25, 3:24, second and 10. Handoff, not much. Maybe a yard or two. And that was Haynes on the carry again. So if you're Marietta, and this is the way you've got to look at this game, guys. I mean, every play is critical at this point, okay? You've got to force Beaufort into a fourth down punting situation here. They're third down, 2:56, we're under 3 minutes to go. Third down and 8 for the Wolves. Whitkey in the gun, calls for it, he's got it. Looks, throws near side. Incomplete. You actually had a couple of Marietta defensive backs who were closer to catching that one than the Beaufort wide receiver. They're lucky that wasn't intercepted. So, Marietta has accomplished, again, this is kind of baby steps here. So you've won that battle. Now you've got to try to get the ball back here. It's a punting situation, but you never know with Beaufort. You got to watch a fake. They're going to punt it away. Bad punt, short punt. It'll go off the side of his foot. Oh, there's a Marietta return man who caught it on the fly, and he's going to get hit out of bounds, and it's going to be a penalty on Beaufort. Look out now. We got the Marietta man that took the hit, I think, is down. And now you got the Beaufort player over on the sideline that made the hit. So let's check and see. We got somebody down. The one thing about Marietta, and I noticed this, when I came here last year for the opening game of the year with Colquitt County and Marietta in a barn burner of a game, Colquitt won at 28-25. But the first thing I noticed when I walked up here was how short these sidelines are. There is just no room. Beaufort going to get called for a personal foul. You may have heard the PA announcer in the background. I'm trying to look through the binoculars. Somebody is down and being tended to by trainers on this near sideline, and that was the return man, and that's not good if you're a Marietta fan. That's Christian Mathis.
Line of scrimmage is the Beaufort 42-yard line, 1st and 10 Blue Devils.
So now, Marietta with the return, he took that one on the fly. I mean, it was a beautiful looking play, and then he gets cranked out of bounds, another 15 yards. So, listen, Marietta now has got a chance to do something here. 2:34 left in the half. They've got it at the Buford 42-yard line, 1st and 10. Let's see if they take a shot at the end zone. No, they're going to throw it out. Wide receiver screen, complete. He'll take it across the 35 to the 34. Penalty flag, though, on the play. This may be coming back. Let's see. Yeah, going to be an illegal shift called on Marietta, so that's a tough break for the Devils, trying to find some semblance of offense here, and they're not going to get it there by way of the penalty.
Line of scrimmage is the 47-yard line, 1st down and 15.
So now they'll replay first down, but this time it'll come back at the 47, and it'll be 1st and 15 now for Marietta. 2:22, 2:21 for the Devils. Snap, throw, incomplete. So that's going to stop the clock. Listen, if you're Marietta at this point, I know you want to move the football, but one thing you got to think about is running some clock out so that you don't let Beaufort get the ball back. I know that sounds crazy, but again, I was just talking about this a while ago. You got to try now to invoke some strategy here where your best offense may be your best defense and vice versa. So if I'm Marietta, I would seriously consider doing something to keep this clock running. They're going to throw a heavy rush by Beaufort. McCravy's got some running room over if he wants to run it. Let's see what he decides to do. He's going to throw it. Incomplete. And that's going to stop the clock. That's giving Beaufort. That's exactly what Beaufort wants. Stop the clock, they can get the ball back. So you're still 2:03 left. You're still 3rd down and 15. So Marietta, no yardage on the last 2 plays, and they've stopped the clock. So we're 3rd and 15. Marietta's got it at the Beaufort 47. Snap to McCravy. And he started to run it, and then he just slides down at the 50. He'll lose 3 yards.
Also 3 on the play. 4th down for the Blue Devils.
So what was another opportunity for Marietta will go for naught. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
Timeout Beaufort.
And Beaufort will take a timeout. This is what I was talking about earlier. Marietta really didn't do themselves any favor either way. They didn't gain any yards. They didn't burn any clock off. And now they're going to have to try to keep Beaufort off the scoreboard one more time. Beaufort going to stop the clock. 1:44 left. You don't think they've got time to come down and score again? Now, you can bet your bottom dollar, and I'm sure that Brian Appling and his special team guys over there are talking about right now bringing the heat on this punt to try to block it. And if you're Marietta, that's the last thing you want. Lowndes up 7-0 on Grayson. Colquitt County 8-3 on Cedar Grove. Bainbridge leads Ware County 16-0. What? Mr. Producer, did you hear that? Crazy, guys. For those of you that don't watch my show or have never heard me, I said this was probably going to be the most exciting season of football we have had in 20 years, and I am been proven right. Anybody could have seen it, though. No pass rush or no punt rush at all. Ooh, boy. And McCravey is going to punt it out of bounds, and they're going to mark it at the 30. There's a penalty flag down. Now, let's check that. If it's against Marietta, I would think Beaufort would decline it, but let's see. I'm fixed on the white hat to see what he calls here. What will he do? They're going to wave it off? Nope. Holding on Buford. That's interesting. So let's see once they sort that out whether they'll spot it. I would guess they're going to spot it from the 30. That's going to cost them 10 yards. So now Beaufort will take over. Instead of having it at their own 30, they'll have it at their own 20 with 1:36 left. So now let's see if Beaufort decides to try to air this thing out, guys. What do you think? Colquitt County now up on Cedar Grove 15-3. All right, so here we go now, Beaufort. I think they've got 2 timeouts left. They lead it 14-0, and they are going to air it out. Oh, boy, Marietta had a chance to intercept it. Oh, my goodness, it hit him right in the hands. Oh, boy.
Second down and 10.
Marietta, the ball was thrown behind the receiver that time. Marietta had a chance to intercept it, and it hit him in the hands. Incomplete. That'll stop the clock. 1:30 still left. I thought this thing was moving along pretty well. We have crept to a snail's pace here now. Second down and 10. Whitkey looks, throws across the middle, off his hands. And another opportunity for Marietta to get a tipped a pass for an interception, and they can't come up with it. Listen, games like this, you got to take, especially when you're down 14-0, you got to take advantage of every opportunity you get. So, crowd will come to its feet now for Marietta's side. Beaufort fans across the way. It's one of these games, even though Beaufort's up 14-0, you're thinking, don't feel like we're out of the woods here. So, third down, still 1:25 left. It's been that. We've been under 2 minutes now for 10 minutes of real time. Third down and 10. Beaufort at their own 20. 3 receivers, far side, 1 on the near side. Whitkey, short drop, quarterback draw, and he's going to go down. And now Marietta's probably going to stop the clock. They will. How about that? Crazy turn of circumstances here, guys. I got to be honest with you. Whitkey looked like he had room to run, but he just, I don't know what happened. So now what you thought first was a Marietta opportunity, then you thought it was going to turn into a Beaufort opportunity, now could turn into another Marietta opportunity. We'll have to see. We're, again, coming up fourth down. Still over a minute left to go. We're at what is that, Mr. Producer? 1:19 left to go. 1 minute, 19 seconds left to go in the opening half. Beaufort leads it 14-0. And let's see if Marietta tries to bring the heat here to try to block this punt, or if they'll try to set up the return and get something that way. So, boy, on that last series, Beaufort, almost 2 interceptions. Marietta couldn't quite haul them in, but they do force Beaufort to punt, or so we think. Let's see what happens here. Fourth down. Here's the snap. It's a low one. They almost blocked it. Didn't quite get to him. Fair catch was called for back there at the 35-yard line. And that's where Marietta's going to put it in play. 1st and 10. 1:11 left to go. This has been the longest 3 minutes left to go in a quarter I've ever seen.
First and 10, Blue Devils.
So now Marietta going to have a chance. Jamie Fraley Seeger's checking in. What's up, Jamie? Jamie says Camden 28-0 on Atlantic Coast. You can also hear my conversation every week with Camden County's head football coach, Jeff Herron. We talk to everybody, guys, and we love it. All right, so here we go. By the way, I see that Hoko score. I'll give that in a minute. Let's see if Marietta can do anything here at the end of the half. McCrary going to roll, throw, complete. That's a good-looking play there for Marietta. Boy, you can tell McCrary likes to throw on the run, or McCravey, I should say. Loves to throw it on the run. They get him out of the pocket, and he throws it on the run. Did that time. He looked good doing it. 5-yard gain. Now, boy, if you're Marietta, what would a score at the end of the half mean to you as a fan? They're still a long way from that. I'm just saying. Still over a minute to go in the half. 2nd and 5. Snap to McCravey. Looks. Heavy rush. Nowhere to go.
McCravey sacked in the backfield.
That's a huge loss.
Marietta.
So now Marietta calls a timeout. Do you realize that we are going to be talking about, if Marietta does not get this and has to turn it over, we're talking about 4 possessions within the last 3 minutes. Almost unheard of. So we're under a minute to go, 58 seconds to be exact. By the way, brand new, beautiful video board here at Northcutt Stadium since we were here last year. I know my buddy Roger Sutherland and the Marietta fans that check out our show every week, we're talking about the improvements they made here to Northcutt Stadium. This is one of the best facilities, bar none. And I've seen a lot of them, guys. This is a beautiful place. So coming out of the timeout, Daniel James checking in. Hughes 7-0 over Douglas County. Hoko 14-0 on Warner Robins, says Waylon Polk. Colquitt County 15-10 now on Cedar Grove. That thing could get interesting before it's over. So we got a penalty flag on the play. You know, I thought that was fourth down. Third down. I'm sorry. Third down. So it's third down. And that's not going to help things. A penalty on the Marietta Blue Devils. Again, this last 3 minutes of this game has just slowed to a snail's pace. The first meeting ever between these two teams, if you can believe that. And what do we got? We have a stoppage in play here for some reason. Don't know what's going on, but they'll wind the clock up, and here we go. It's third down, 58 seconds left. It's 3rd and a mile. Snap to McCravey. Just going to do a quarterback draw here, looking for some blocking. And he'll get a few yards up to the 27. And now Beaufort will stop the clock. 47 seconds left. So they're going to force Marietta to punt. And Beaufort will have one more shot to try to score. They lead it 14-0. A 57-yard touchdown run by Justice Haynes, followed by a 7-yard touchdown catch by K.J. Bolden from Dylan Whitkey. And that's where we are, 14-0. Bainbridge 16-8 now on Ware County. By the way, we were in Bainbridge for one of our games of the week. Cook is up 14-7 at the half. That coming from my buddy Dr. Mike McCartney, Adel Dental Associates. Mike Sorensen is checking in. What's up, Mike? Mike was watching our Bainbridge Thomasville game that we brought to you guys a couple of weeks ago. We're all over the state. All right, here we go, coming out of the timeout now. You've got Marietta in a punting situation. McCravey's back there to punt. Let's see if Beaufort brings the heat here. Well, they look like they're coming after it. High snap. He'll get it off. And the return man for Beaufort now act like he's going to run up and catch it. He'll back away from it. Marietta will take as much time as they can to down it, and then they will. And it's going to be down at the Beaufort 49-yard line. So the Buford Wolves offense will take over with 34 seconds left in the first half, with Beaufort leading it 14-0. So let's see what the Wolves decide to do here. With 34 seconds left and a 2-touchdown lead. I said this earlier, if you're Marietta, you can go into the locker room down 14-0, no problem. More points than that, especially with your offense not having scored any, could be tough. Let's see what happens here in these last 34 seconds. Snap to Whitkey. Throws. Incomplete.
Pass is complete to number 20, Justin Baker.
Well, it was complete, I guess they said.
No gain on the play.
What?
Second down and 10.
Okay, no gain. Clock continues to run now. We're under 20 seconds to go. And Whitkey will just spike it.
Dylan Whitkey downs the ball.
I guess that first play was complete, but it went for nothing.
Play third down and 10.
This last two series for Beaufort have been some of the strangest possessions I have ever seen. So 17 seconds left, and now you're looking at Beaufort with a third down and 10. So third down and 10, Beaufort. They're just shy of midfield. Whitkey takes it, looks, throws in the flat. Complete. Receiver's got it. Going to be knocked out of bounds right at the first down marker. And now you got 10 seconds left. That's going to be enough for a first down, I believe. That'll move the chains. You've got 10 seconds left at the 39. So first and 10, Beaufort. Ball at the Marietta 39. Let's see what Beaufort decides to do here. Let's see if they try to take a shot to the end zone. Got a couple of receivers here near side, two to the far side. Whitkey looks, throws across the middle. Ball batted up in the air and incomplete. Truth is, if you're Marietta, you let him catch that one, you make the tackle, and time could have run out. I don't know if Beaufort has any time outs or not. I think they have one. I think each team has one timeout left. So 6 seconds left to go in the half. Beaufort's up 14-0. They've got it at the Marietta 39-yard line. Second down. You've got time for about one or maybe two plays. Let's see. Snap to Whitkey. Looks. Going to step up in the pocket. They're going to launch it long to the end zone. Incomplete. And that will bring an end to the first half of play. With your score, Beaufort 14, Marietta nothing. As we get ready for the second half of tonight's game, the ITG Next Game of the Week. All right, wow. Pashawn Pride just gave us Lowndes up 21-0 on Grayson. Wow, didn't see that one coming. Unbelievable. Here we are 14-0. Now, some will say that this is a little bit of a surprise, but, we'll have to see what happens in this second half. Here we go. Marietta going to kick it away, and we're going to see Beaufort go on offense first tonight, but it'll have to come from the 20-yard line, and that's where we're going to see Beaufort take it first and 10 from their own 20. Guys, let me see your comments coming in tonight. Appreciate all of the comments, everybody that's watching tonight. We certainly do appreciate you being a part of our ITG Next Game of the Week. All right, so here we go. We're going to see Beaufort go on offense. First possession of the second half. They've got it first and 10 from the far hash as we get ready to start the third quarter with the Wolves up 14-0. Whitkey going to go under center. Now, we've seen him under center and in the gun about half and half tonight. He'll start here giving it to Justice Haynes, left side. Big run there. 26-yard line, gain of 6, and he made it look easy. So the big challenge here for Marietta will be obviously to see if they can keep Beaufort right where they are while hoping their offense can get on track and get something going. Now, I'll say this. Marietta has had a couple of opportunities but not able to take advantage there in the first half as they trail 14-0, just underway, third quarter. ITG next, game of the week. Whitkey going to have it to Haynes. He darted right, then took it right back up the middle, taking it to the 30. They're going to mark him just short of the first down. Brian Appling over there on that far sideline, not happy at all about that. Thought they got a bad spot, but it'll be 3rd and a yard needed for the first. For the Buford Wolves, undefeated and ranked number 1 in the state. Now, they look impressive tonight. Going to hand it. First man through. Well, I tell you, he's going to be close depending on where they spot him. I think he's got the first down. And he will, but not by much. Butler was stopped after a short gain. However, it is enough of a gain to keep the chains moving for the Buford Wolves. So it's a 1st and 10 Beaufort. Just underway, third quarter. Now, I do something every week called the Pick Six, where I pick games. And I try to take 6 games that I think are interesting, the most interesting, from a couple of different standpoints. And I'll pick up the conversation here in just a second. With the Wolves, new set of downs, 1st and 10 now. From their own 31, they lead at 14-0. Whitkey going to hand it to Haynes. Breaking tackles, taking it up to about the 37. Give him 6 yards on the carry. So I try to pick 6 games, try to take 6 games. I've done this now 5 weeks. Every week I have finished 4 and 2. So I'm 20 and 10 on the season. This game, in case you're wondering what my pick is, I picked Beaufort to win at 36-25. I thought Marietta would keep it close. Right now, Marietta's going to have to pick it up if they're going to score 25 points. But off-tackle play. Got a penalty flag over there on that far side. Let's see what we get. Could have a hold over there. Beaufort really stretching that one out. They think it's going to be against them as they are coming back, and it will be the call against the Buford Wolves. In case you're wondering what my other pick 6 games were tonight, I predicted Hoco to beat Warner Robins 35-31. Colquitt to beat Cedar Grove 24-22. Westlake to beat Collins Hill 35-8. Worth County to beat Berrien 26-20, and I predicted Mill Creek would beat Parkview 30-27. Those are my pick 6 games. We'll see how I come out tonight. A reverse. Look out. Going to get here to the corner, put his head down, and he'll be brought down there. Boy, I tell you, Marietta, they look good on defense. They don't miss many tackles, including that one. Number 19 that time, Joseph Mosley making the tackle. It looked like coming off the edge there, he was going to have a full head of steam and maybe turn it into something bigger. As it stands, it's a 4-yard gain. And it's 3rd down and 10. Did we have a loss of down on that last play, on that penalty? We must have. It's 3rd down and 10 anyway. Beaufort, this is a big play for Marietta. They'd like to hold him here. Whitkey looks. Plenty of time. Now he's going to be chased out of the pocket. Whitkey's going to throw it. Incomplete. Wow. The intended receiver that time Oh, man, so it was – so listen, it was number 16 for Beaufort who had it, Sam Harkness, but a heavy hit delivered, as I watched the replay there, by one of the Marietta defensive backs. So that's a big-time play by Marietta. They'll force Beaufort into a punting situation here. And the punt going to come over here to the right side, the near sideline. It's going to roll out of bounds at the 33-yard line, and that's where Marietta will put it in play. 1st and 10. This will be their first offensive possession of the second half. They trail it 14-0. Now, if you're a Marietta fan, I would think you've got to feel pretty good about where you are, all things considered. No one gave you a chance in this game. Now, you are still down 2 touchdowns, but you're very much still in the game. But you've got to find some offense, and you got to get it going here because you're down 2 touchdowns and you haven't put a point on the board yet. So let's see if Marietta can do something. 3 receivers far side, 1 here to the near side. McCravey, looks going to just dump it out across the middle, complete. Short gain, about 3 yards. And it's going to be a gain of, like I said, 3 yards. Be 2nd down and 7. ITG next. Game of the week. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast here tonight between these 2 teams who are meeting for the first time ever, if you can believe that. Play action. Heavy rush again. Going to throw it out. Complete. There's a penalty flag coming down. We're probably going to get a hold over here on Marietta. Let's see what we get. No penalty is called. No penalty. They're going to wave it off. Not to the delight of the Beaufort fans. Going to move it up to the 47-yard line. That should be a new set of downs for Marietta. Well, I got to tell you, so they caught Beaufort with heavy pursuit that time. They've been coming after McCravey all night. That time, good call by Morgan and his staff to let the pass rush for Beaufort come in. McCravey just dumped it off on a screen, and they picked up a big gain that time, did Marietta. And they're showing something here. First possession of the second half. New set of downs up at their own 47. We've got whistles. Blue Devils, I think they were trying to run a man off late, and they're going to call a timeout. So Pashawn Pride gives us an update on Lowndes Grayson. It's now 21-7 Lowndes on Grayson. Didn't see that one coming. Any other scores you got coming in, guys? Let me hear from you. 14-8. That's Houston County on Warner Robins. Jacob O'Neill says Beaufort about to open it up here. Well, we'll see. You kind of do get that feeling that Beaufort may be a step away, a pass away from breaking this open. It's kind of had that feeling, but you give Marietta credit. So far, they have not allowed that to happen. So coming out of the timeout now, you've got Marietta with a new set of downs. 1st down and 10. Blue Devils. McCravey looks, going to throw far side, complete. Makes a man miss. And it's complete, taking it up close to a 1st down. Beaufort, first man through, missed the tackle. That allowed the receiver to get up close to another 1st down. Check the spot. I think he's a little short, and he is. 2nd down in the yard. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Marietta take a shot here on 2nd and inches. Let's see. McCravey. Short drop. Going to jump it off in the middle. Complete. Makes a man miss. Going to drive him out of bounds at the 36. So don't look now, but here comes Marietta. And we've got wholesale changes now for Beaufort's defense. Look at that. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys running off, 7 new guys coming in. So Beaufort says, let's get some fresh bodies out there. Handoff, right side, tough sledding. Boy, somebody come up from Beaufort and made a, who is that? Number 4, Jack Dameron. He's a senior linebacker and kind of remind you of the Pope kid that went to Beaufort, who's now playing for Nick Saban in Alabama. Rich Nixon checking us out. Bainbridge Bearcats still up on Ware County. That's at the half. Marietta trails at 14-0, but they're trying to get something going here. Second down, 9. McCravey calls for it. Throws, complete, had a man wide open out here. They're going to drive him out of bounds near the 20-yard line. That's another Marietta first down.
At the 23-yard line, that's good for another Marietta first down.
Marietta hanging around, 14-0. Here come the Blue Devils now. They're going to run a little bit of tempo. Run play, stretching it out. Look out, 20, 15, 10. Penalty flag going to be thrown behind the play. This will come back.
Flag on the play.
Holding against Marietta. You could see that one developing up here. So what was a nice run for a first down and was going to give Marietta close to a 1st and goal to go instead will be marked off, 10-yard penalty. So instead of having it down around the 10, the ball going to be back out at the 32-yard line. That's a costly penalty. Second down. McCravey looks, going to throw to the end zone, throw it deep over here. Incomplete. One-on-one coverage on this near side leg. He's going to the end zone. Instead, it came down to about the 5. Beaufort, great coverage down here on this near sideline. Incomplete. Beaufort they're just good-looking ball players, man. They just look like machines, like robots. Big, strong. Derek Tharp checking us out tonight. Judy Norton. All right, here's Marietta now, 3rd and long. Heavy rush, screen. They'll take it down to the 19-yard line. Going to be short of the first down, but it's a big gain. Now if you're Morgan, Coach Morgan and Marietta, what do you do here? Do you go for it, or do you try to stick a field goal up to get on the board? Let's see what they decide to do here. Was that a new set of down? No. Yes. Okay, 3rd and 7. I thought this was 4th down. My bad. 3rd and 7. Guys, I'm just going with the yard mark over on there. He cannot take this sack. Oh, cannot take that sack. That is a huge loss for Marietta. So I was looking at the yard mark over there. I thought they had a 3rd down on that last play. That was 3rd down there. Now it'll bring up 4th down. And boy, if you're Marietta, you just take yourself out of field goal range. Now you have no chance but to go, or have no choice but to go for it. Looks like do we have a penalty on the play? I guess not.
Down at 15 for the Blue Devils.
So going to bring up 4th and 15 now for Marietta. And are they going to take a timeout here? Play clock down to 10. They're probably going to have to. They'll never get this off. 6, 5, 4, 3. They're going to have to take a timeout. Well, there was some indecision on the Marietta sideline. They're going to have to take a timeout. So Marietta And listen, it's easy for me up here, way high atop Northcutt Stadium, to say you can't take a sack. But just in the frame of the game, you can't take a sack there. But again, McCravey under a heavy rush. I guess the young man said, I don't want to throw it away. I don't want to get risk an interception. That's understandable. But what you did do there now, you take what could have been maybe like a 34, 35-yard field goal into what is now a 4th and long, and you're really too short to punt it, but you're too far away to try a field goal. So Marietta going to have to pull something out of the hat here to try to get something here. And let's see what they decide to do. They trail it 14-0. Wow, look at that clock. 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. For the most part, this thing has sped by tonight. So big play here. I don't have to tell you that. It's 4th down for Marietta. They've got to get it to the 13-yard line for a first. And they're at the 27. So here we go. Snap to McCravey. Looks. Going to throw it long. Incomplete. Overshot a receiver down here on the corner. And he overshoots him. And so Buford will dodge a bullet. And Marietta will miss an opportunity to try to put points on the board. It'll be a turnover on downs. So Marietta kept the ball for a long time there. I don't have that time of possession on that particular possession, but they kept it a while. And they'll come away empty. Still 14-0. Beaufort leads it. 3 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the third quarter. Beaufort back on the field now. The offense back on the field. They've got it again at their own 27-yard line with a 2-touchdown lead. Wiki under center. He's going to take. He'll hand it to Haynes. And you got to expect, after a short game by Haynes, just the way he runs the ball, that you kind of got to expect just for him to break one at any second, don't you? Talking about Haynes. Of course, they've got a couple of kids that are capable of breaking it, I guess. All right, here we go now after a 3-yard gain. We'll call it 2nd and 7 for the Wolves. There's Haynes again, left side. He'll go for a couple. Don't forget, you can hear me and Bryant Appling, the head coach of the Buford Wolves, every week on the Buford Coaches Podcast, brought to you by Northeast Georgia Physicians Group. We speak to several coaches around the state. Maurice Freeman, Brooks County. Shane Queen, North Cobb's coach. Sean Calhoun, Calkle. We talk to a bunch of coaches every week. You can check them all out right here at ITG Next Georgia. Big play here, 3rd down. Wiki, look, sack. Quarterback sack, that's a rare one. So it's going to be a 4th down situation. I'm showing there's a number 12. Carson Snipes is who I'm showing, but the PA announcer said somebody else's name. So not sure who. It was number 12, I can tell you that. So the bottom line is, though, Marietta has come out big here. Boy, they're coming after this punt here. Let's see. They'll not get close to him. The punt is off. It'll roll. And the Marietta man will take it and go down immediately right at the 30-yard line. They'll spot it at the 29. And I got to give Marietta credit, guys. They are hanging around here. I think a lot of people expected Beaufort maybe to come out on that possession after Marietta offense had gone with no points after keeping the ball for most of that third quarter, turning it over, but the defense for the Blue Devils comes up big, and they are going to force Beaufort to punt, which they did. Now they'll give their offense another chance here. Still looking for points tonight is the Marietta offense in a 14-0 Beaufort game. McCravey going to toss it out here in the flats. They're having some success with that. Short gain, complete. Going to take it out to about the 31. Under a minute to go in the third quarter in what has been a pretty speedy third quarter. This game, for the most part, has gone by pretty quickly tonight. Not a lot of timeouts, not a lot of penalties, really. Going to bring up 2nd and 8 for Marietta. Under a minute to go in the third quarter with Beaufort leading at 14-0. McCravey takes the snap, looks, throws. Incomplete. I'll stop the clock now with 26 seconds left. Going to bring up another 3rd down. 2 touchdowns is all the scoring we've had tonight, and they have both come from the Buford Wolves. A 57-yard touchdown run by Justice Haynes and a 7-yard touchdown catch by K.J. Bolden, and that's been it. 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, and that's where we are. Here's Marietta now, 3rd down and 8. Empty backfield for McCravey, who looks, throws. We got a hit, helmet-on-helmet hit by Buford. Going to be a personal foul on Buford. Marietta fans are not liking this. Well, the Beaufort fans really aren't liking it either. So it's going to be a personal foul called on Marietta now. We have to see here. Personal foul. Blow to the head is the call. It's a targeting call, actually, is what we're going to get on Beaufort. I don't know if that results in an ejection or not. So that's going to give Marietta a new set of downs, and it's going to move the ball up to the 46-yard line. So Marietta drive stays alive. Going to run it. Going to take it to the 50. Jace Arnold on the carry. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down. And we'll call it 6, needed for the first. Houston County up on Warner Robins 21-8. As the horn sounds to end the third quarter of play. With Marietta hanging around. They trail Beaufort 14-0. As we get ready to start quarter number 4 on the ITG Next Game of the Week. So we got Houston County up 21-8 on Warner Robins. Irwin County up on Metter 17-7. That's in the third. My buddy Dr. Mike McCartney gave me a score earlier. That was Cook. Cook up 24-7 on Jeff Davis. That's late in the third. My buddy Cole Moore gives me Crisp leading Northside 10-8. Lowndes 21-7 on Grayson. Phil Jones with you. Got my man Brandon Pham on the controls tonight, bringing you all the great video shots of this game. Doing a great job. Thomas County Central, an easy win tonight, 48-13. And again, we are 14-0. Houston County now 28-8 on Warner Robins, says Chris Sellers. North Cobb 14, Milton nothing. 9 minutes left in the third. All right, here we go, guys, to start quarter number 4. Throw was behind the receiver that time for Marietta. Dangerous play there. Had his head turned and didn't see the ball. Didn't see the defender coming in either. Thankfully, nothing bad happens there except an incomplete pass. So now it's third down for Marietta. The ball just shy of midfield. We're just underway, fourth quarter. Here's the snap. McCravey going to roll. Looks. Going to throw. It's complete to the 39. What a play. What a catch. What a throw. Marietta hanging around. They convert on a big third down play, and they're just hanging around. So it's a new set of downs. McCravey, the quarterback, has looked good. Transferred from Hillgrove this offseason. Going to take and hand it. Running back, it's going to be, they're going to bring him down for a loss. Way back at the 49. That's kind of been the night it's been for Marietta, where they'll do a couple of things good and then they'll kind of just hurt themselves with a play like that. It's going to bring up now, let's see, second down and 17 for Marietta. The ball at the 46 of Beaufort. Just underway, fourth quarter. McCravey looks. Got a man open. Complete. Delivered a perfect strike to a receiver who had to turn around for it, but he made the catch at the 15. And don't look now, but here comes Marietta. Marietta, let's see where they're going to spot it. If they can get a first down without scoring. Yes, right on the 10. No, I'm sorry, on the 15. My bad. So it's at the 15. Running play, nothing doing there. I thought he caught it at the 10, but he went out at the 15. Like I said earlier, guys, I'm having to peer between the handrails up here, so sometimes if I can't see the numbers. Anyway, not at the 10, it's at the 15. And now it's going to be spotted at the 16. So let's see if Marietta, trying to look for their first points of the night, will they be able to get it here? You would think they're getting close to field goal range, but I know that Coach Morgan and the Blue Devils are thinking touchdown. McCravey, short drop, looks. Going to throw, intercepted. Buford's come up with an interception. McCravey threw that one into a lot of traffic, and Beaufort's going to take over at their own 1 yard line. Interception made back there. I believe that was number 43, Jaden Perlot. He's a sophomore. And it's going to be an interception for the Buford Wolves. So yet another opportunity for Marietta will go by the wayside. Stephen Tate gives us an update. So here we go now. Beaufort taking over in the shadow of their own goal line here. Whitkey going to hand it to the back. Boy, he's going to barely get out of the end zone there. I thought Marietta may have had a safety. He's going to lose about a half a yard if that was possible. We'll call it second down and 10. I think he actually lost about a half a yard. The ball, the back nose of the football sits on the goal line. Whitkey is standing about a yard and a half deep in his end zone. And now he's just going to do a quarterback sneak to try to get it out of there, and he will take it to about the 3. So let me tell you this. If you're Marietta, you've got Beaufort in a 3rd down and long inside their own 5-yard line. If you have any chance of winning this game, in my opinion, you've got to make a stop here. And you got to force them into a punting situation and hope you can get something big and some kind of return or something. Let's see what happens. So 3rd and long, Beaufort is inside their own 5. They're at their own 3. 3rd down and an I. And they're going to hand it to Haynes, trying to get outside, and no sir. They're going to, well, now they'll, thought they brought him down at the 1, but he was able to squirm out of it and get it up to the 9-yard line. So it's still going to be a punting situation for the Wolves. So, again, Marietta has done their job. Are you kidding me? So here we go now. Punting situation, high kick. They're not even going to try to return it. It's going to go out of bounds at the 40, about the 45, 46-yard line. So Marietta is going to start in good field position once again, and it seems like we've been saying that a lot tonight. Lucy Bowers Boykin checking us out. Eric Evans, Bainbridge 16-14 on Ware County in the 3rd. Guys, keep those scores coming in. Let me hear from you. Let me hear your comments tonight here on our ITG Next live broadcast. ITG Next Game of the Week, streaming it live from high atop Northcutt Stadium in Marietta, where Marietta trails at 14-0. Boy, they've had their chances, I'll tell you, and they got another chance here. McCravey takes the snap. They're going to run it right side and going to run into a host of white shirts. He'll still get it back to the line of scrimmage, but he had to fight to do that. 7:40. This game has sped along at a rapid pace tonight. It is sped across like a NASCAR race, like an F1 race. I mean, we're only at 9:30, and we've only got 7 minutes left to go in this game. So here we go. Marietta 2nd down. McCravey, quick toss, complete. And they're going to throw him out of bounds at the 30, inside the 40-yard line at about the 39 or so. That is at the 39. So now Marietta with a 3rd down. I go right back to a play just like that if I'm Morgan and the Blue Devils. Beaufort showing blitz. Here they come. They're going to roll Wiki out. Looks. And that's just not going to work. Well, it seems like Marietta has been in that situation all night long where Wiki rolls out, has nothing, and has to eat the football. He has to do it again there. So what, again, was a promising situation for Marietta was going to be a 4th down. And now you got to think, if you're Marietta, you got to go for it. I mean, if you punt it away, you're just going to give it back to Beaufort, and you're down by 2 touchdowns with 6 minutes, 10 seconds left. And look, doesn't matter if you lose 14-0 or 21-0, whatever. You got to score a touchdown. So Richard Morgan is going to pull off the going to pull out the chances here, and he's going to go for it on 4th and long. Snap to McCravey. Looks, heavy rush. McCravey's going to try to run for it, I guess. Now he'll throw it downfield. Intercepted. Incomplete now. Incomplete. Tried to find a receiver down around the 10-yard line, but instead it went to a Buford Wolf who was not able to hang on to it, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So Marietta now will turn it over on downs. They're going to give it to the Buford Wolves, and the Wolves will take over in control here. Up 14-0. The ball just shy of midfield. So here we go now. You got Beaufort. We're under 6 minutes to go in this game. 5:42. Beaufort, new set of downs, 1st and 10 inside the 50. And again, you got to figure Haynes may be close to breaking this thing. Actually, that time we had a pitch to number 20. That was Justin Baker, who's going to run him out of bounds at around the 40. So now Beaufort would like to put one more on the board to put this thing away. So here's Beaufort now up to the line. And we've got a penalty flag. Check the call. What do we got? False start on Beaufort. 5:34 left to go in the football game. What has been a pretty quick game tonight. Colquitt County 29-17 on Cedar Grove in the third is what we're getting. Worth County up 35-27 on Berrien. So 1st and 15 now for the Wolves. Baker gets the call again. That's Justin Baker, number 20, and not much. Going to lose a yard on that play, as we are now down to 5 minutes to go in the game. So 5 minutes to go in the game. We'll go under 5 minutes now, as Beaufort is content to let the clock run and run. They'll probably snap this thing with about 7 or 8 seconds left to go on the play clock. 9, 8, 7, there they'll snap it. Going to swing it out here to the near side. Still on his feet, taking it to the 31-yard line. .435 left. Beaufort looking to try to tack on one more before they get out of here tonight in a 14-0 game. So Worth County 35-27.
Gain of 13 on the play, 3rd down and 3.
3rd down. 3rd and 3 for the Wolves. Ball's at the 33. Whitkey calls for it. He's got it. Looks, throws far side. Got a man open. That's Bolden. Look out. There he goes. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Penalty flag on the play. Check the call. May have a block in the back here. Let's see. There's penalty flags all over the place. Could have a hold. Could be a number of things. You got to feel like it's going to be on the offense. It is a hold on Beaufort. Well, that's going to negate the touchdown by Bolden, who took off like a rocket.
Line of scrimmage will be the 39-yard line.
So that will make the line of scrimmage now. The 39-yard line, I believe. So here we go now on Beaufort. Clock runs at 4:26. We're at 4:26 left to go. 3rd down. 3rd and 9. Snap. Throws. Far side, setting up the screen to Bolden. He's got it. He'll be tackled right away there at the 37. So he'll gain 2 yards. And now if you're Beaufort, you got to consider going for it here. Oh, wait, is this 3rd? No, now it's 4th down. Guys, I tell you, the yard man over there is the yardstick guy is giving me fits tonight. Now it is 4th down. So let's see if Beaufort probably going to go for this. 3:54, 3:53. The clock continues to run. Now the play clock will just now start running. And did we have a timeout? Play clock is still running at 6, 5, 4, 3. Beaufort will probably call a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock, I would imagine, or they may take the delay of game. So they will take a delay of game, and that will allow them to move the punter back and have some more room to punt the football. So now Beaufort going to come out, and they're going to punt it away. 3:23 left. You'd think they're going to punt it. Got to watch Beaufort here. Marietta now has done. Now they'll finally send somebody back deep. Here's the snap, the punt. Gets it away. And it'll roll into the end zone for a touchback. So Marietta, with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, is going to have to get 14 points on the board somehow in these last 3 minutes, despite not being able to put any points on the board through the first 3 quarters and 8 minutes. Michael Ward, been away from the game for a while. Marietta's defense must be pretty good keeping the high-powered offense at bay to this point, or up at 14 up to this point. I had predicted this game was going to be closer than most people thought, and a lot of people were calling me crazy and calling me this and that, but of course it's not over. Pass complete, brought down at about the 27. But I thought Marietta would maybe give them a pretty tough contest tonight, and so far they have. I got to be honest with you. If Marietta didn't score a point, I still think this is and listen, I know there's no such thing as moral victories. I get it, but snap to McCravey. Looks, throws. Well, I guess it is complete. First I thought he had dropped it, but he just sat down where he caught it right there at the 32. So that's going to move the chains. That's going to be a first down. Now, Marietta's got to think about getting the ball down the field and getting it down the field in a hurry because they just don't have enough time. 2:31, 2:30, Marietta, McCravey. Look, now they're going to sail it long. Incomplete. That's going to stop the clock, 2:25. Robert Clary asked, what is the Ware County Bainbridge score? I'd like to know that as well. We're 2:25 left to go in this game. Marietta trails at 14-0. They've got the ball at their own 31-yard line, 32-yard line. McCravey looks, throws, got a man open, 50, 45. Knocked him out of bounds at the 40, inside the 40-yard line. It was a good-looking play by Marietta that time. And don't look now, but here come the Blue Devils. 2 minutes, 17 seconds left. Can Marietta do it? You got to figure if the Blue Devils score, which they have not been able to do that all game, but if they can somehow score, you got to be thinking onside kick. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because Marietta, again, hasn't been able to put any points on the board yet, but if they do, we'll see what happens. So here's Marietta now inside the Beaufort 40-yard line with a new set of downs. Snap to McCravey. Looks, going to sail it long downfield, way overshot. Actually, I want to back up here. We got Daniel Gray in the game at quarterback. I don't know if McCravey was hurt or what. But Daniel Gray, the quarterback for the Marietta Blue Devils. Snap to Gray. Throws in and out of a receiver's hand. Incomplete. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the game. So now it's 3rd down and 10 for Marietta. So 3rd down and 10, the Marietta Blue Devils trying to hang around here. Daniel Gray is the quarterback. Just over 2 minutes to go in the game. Snap to Gray. Looks. Throws. Got a man wide open out there. And he couldn't get it to him. Wow, had a man wide open out there at about the 20, and Gray couldn't get it to him.
2 minutes left in the game.
So 2 minutes to go in the game. 2 minutes. And Marietta now going to have one more chance at it, at least trying to keep the game going. I'll tell you this, give Marietta credit. They came to play tonight. I knew they would. I had predicted this game to be an 11, well, let's see, yeah, I predicted this game 11-point difference. And it's a 14-point difference. Marcus Foster gives us 24-7 Lowndes over Grayson. That's the shocker. Gray going to be sacked. And that is going to pretty much do it. So Gray not able to get the ball off. We've seen that happen a lot tonight with Marietta in the quarterback situation. And that is going to pretty much do it as we have just 1:46 left to go in the game. So here comes the Buford Wolves now. They'll take over. 1st and 10. The ball right at the 50-yard line. You got to figure, will Beaufort go into the victory formation here? Let's see. They'll take and pitch it to the running back. Trying to get outside. He'll take it to about the 46. 132, 131, 130. Clock runs here. Beaufort is content to let clock run here, and you can't blame them. 33 seconds left on the play clock. They'll let this thing run down probably a good way. So Beaufort will go to 5-0 on the year. Beaufort breaks the huddle at the Marietta 46-yard line. They have a comfortable 14-0 lead. Wicke still in there at quarterback. He's going to take and going to hand it. It's number 5 running it. Christian Butler. Got a penalty flag on the play. I think we got a block below the waist maybe. Let's see what we get here. No, it's the illegal shift on Beaufort. I got to tell you, and I'm not going to speak for Coach Appling, but if I'm Coach Appling, I'd take a knee. See if we can get out of here with nobody injured and nobody hurt.
Line of scrimmage will be the Beaufort 49-yard line.
So the ball will be placed now back on the Beaufort side of the 50. It'll be at their 49 after the penalty in a 14-0 Beaufort lead. All the scoring came in the first half. .52 seconds left to go in the game. 2nd down and long for the Wolves. They'll take and hand it to the running back. He'll take, go over the 50 to about the 46. Again, that was Christian Butler, who has gotten a lot of the carries here tonight. I'd say him and Haynes probably 50-50. Eric Evans, great job, Phil and staff. We appreciate the kind words, my man. Thank you for that. Guys, I hope all of you have enjoyed our ITG Next Game of the Week tonight. Next week, we'll be at Lee County, bringing you Houston County and Lee County. What a good one that promises to be. 16-15. This could very well be the last play of the game. Going to pitch it. They're going to bring him down right there at about the 38-yard line, and that's going to do it. The ball game is coming to an end. Your final score from Northcutt Stadium in Marietta, a little bit closer game than we thought tonight between these two teams. Again, my score I had predicted Beaufort to win by 11. They win it by 14. 14-0. Your final score here on the ITG Next Game of the Week. Guys, I want to encourage you guys to join me on Monday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock. Monday and Tuesday at 5 o'clock. We will have Beaufort coaches, great guys, saying goodbye, man. We appreciate y'all. So 5 o'clock, Monday and Tuesday, we will talk about this and all of the action tonight across the state, and we'll talk about what's coming up next week as far as high school football goes. That's Monday and Tuesday at 5 o'clock right here at the ITG Next Facebook page. It's Extra Point with me, Phil Jones. It's a high school football show. We talk high school football for an hour, 5 to 6 on Monday. I hope you guys will join me then. And then next week, we'll bring you Houston County and Lee County from Leesburg as our ITG Next Game of the Week then. Hope you'll join us for that. For Brandon Pham, I'm Phil Jones saying good night from Marietta in Northcutt Stadium, where, again, your final score tonight, Beaufort 14, the Marietta Blue Devils, pesky Devils tonight they were, nothing, 14-0 your final score. See you guys on Monday, Extra Point with Phil Jones right here at 5 o'clock. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody.